Before you hear this story, promise me one thing. If you ever hear church bells ringing at midnight when there is no church nearby, do not follow them. Because some bells don't call people to worship, some bells call them to confess. My name is Ethan Cole, and this is not a story I heard, this is something I survived. Blackwood, Massachusetts is one of those forgotten New England towns that barely exists outside old records, surrounded by tall pine trees and heavy fog that feels alive. Locals say it comes from the marshlands, but the truth is far worse because the fog belongs to the church. Blackwood Church, built in 1891, once stood as the heart of the town, where weddings, baptisms, and funerals took place until one night when the bells rang for 6 straight hours without anyone pulling the rope. By morning, 7 members of the congregation were dead, and from that day forward, the town stopped praying. I went there in 2019 as a journalist, working on a documentary about abandoned religious structures across America, where faith had turned into something dark. The warnings came immediately. Don't enter after sunset. Don't touch the bells. And whatever you do, don't pray inside. That last warning didn't make sense to me at the time. When I arrived, the church doors were already open as if waiting for me. The air inside was cold and smelled of old wood, rust, and something organic. Dust covered everything except the altar, which looked disturbingly clean, like someone had been using it recently. Then I heard it. One slow, patient bell chime echoing through the sanctuary. Behind the altar, I found a hidden staircase leading underground into a basement lined with old cassette tapes, each labeled with names and dates. My hands started shaking when I saw the most recent tape because it had my name written on it. I played one of the older tapes, and a trembling voice whispered, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned," followed by sobbing, screaming. And then silence broken only by a bell. Every tape followed the same pattern: confession, fear, bell, silence until I felt someone standing behind me, a priest wearing old robes, but his face wouldn't stay in focus. Like my mind refused to understand what it was seeing. He spoke calmly, saying, "You came to listen. Now it's your turn." That's when the truth was revealed. The bells were never meant to call people to God. They were designed to bind guilt to the church itself, feeding the building with every sin spoken aloud, and it was starving again. The priest showed me a final recording, and my blood ran cold because it was me, older and broken, confessing to a crime I had buried for years, a hit and run, an accident that killed someone. And I realized I had already been to Blackwood Church long ago begging for forgiveness. And the church never forgets. It only waits. Suddenly the bells began ringing louder than ever, shaking the walls as I ran through the fog. But by morning the town was completely silent. No birds, no wind, only the echo of bells. And if you are hearing this story now, it means I never truly escaped, because the bells are ringing again. And this time they are ringing for you.